friends, today we're going to be working on Unit 2, Lesson 11, pages 97 and 98, and we'll also be working in the spiral. By now you've probably noticed that up at the top here it says Unit 2, Lesson 11, 2-11. That's what that means, Unit 2, Lesson 11. So if I ever tell you to look for the unit and the lesson on the top, that's where you need to look. And on the bottom, it says it right here too, Unit 2, Lesson 11. Right here is the page number, and it tells us what we're doing. Buy with pennies and dimes, page 97 and page 98. So those are the two pages that you need to have today. We are going to start in our spiral though, so make sure you have those things with you. All right, so throughout your life, I know that some of you have been able to use money and some of you have not. But friends, we are at the point in your life where you're expected to know the value of American money. And the reason why we're going to be talking about this a lot is because money comes in the values of 1, 5, 10, 25, and 100. It just makes the groupings for mathematics make sense for some people. And so when I teach it to you today, if you don't already know what these different values are, I'm teaching it today so that you will start understanding and you'll make a point to learn those things. It is expected in second grade that you will know the value of these coins. So we're going to talk real quick first about some different values. So this right here is a penny, and it is worth 1 cent. So if we were to draw this, draw a proof drawing of it, it would look like this. Just one little circle. This guy right here is called a nickel. Looks like that. And when I draw a picture of it, it will look like that. So when I draw like what it would look like on a piece of paper, I will use that. I will put a circle with a 5 in it to show that that's a nickel. But if I were to make a proof drawing, it would look like that because 5 ones are in this nickel. The next one is called a dime. A dime is thinner and smaller than a nickel, but it's worth more. And the reason why is because the metal that it's made with back in the olden days when they first started making coins was more valuable than the metal that they used to make a nickel, a 5-cent piece. So this 10-cent piece, it's got 10 ones in it. So we're not going to draw 10 ones for our proof drawing. We're just going to draw a 10 stick. That's how many ones are in a dime. If we wanted to draw that out, we would draw 10 ones. But it has to be one or the other. It's not both of them. So this is what it would look like if I were just making a picture of it. This is what the actual dime looks like. And this right here is the value of the dime. And I am going to go ahead and put a sticky note over those 10 ones because I don't want you to think that there are 20 in that dime. So right there, 1 10 stick. All right, next we have a quarter. And a quarter looks like this. And it's called a quarter because it takes 4 of these to make a dollar. So this is 1 out of 4 to make a dollar. And you guessed it, I would draw it like this, a circle with 25 in it. And because it has 25 ones in it, so I'm going to have 2 10s and 5 ones. So this one is worth 25 cents. It's called a quarter. Lastly, I have this big guy here, and this is a $1 bill. The way I would draw him, I would make a rectangle, put 100 in it, and then to draw that, I'm not going to make 10 sticks. I'm just going to make 100 spots. So you draw pretty much the same thing for a dollar and for a nickel. or sorry, $1 and for the proof drawing. I don't know why I said dollar and a nickel. So this is something that you should know at this point in your life. I'm expecting you to be able to deal with that value of coins, with that picture and stuff. So when it says draw a picture of the coins, this is what we're talking about. When we want a proof drawing, we're talking about this. So this is draw coins, and this is proof drawing. All right. Are there any questions about that before we move on? All right. So the next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to give you an example of what we could do. And we're going to pause after I tell you this problem that I have, or this puzzle that I have. So here's my puzzle. I have only pennies and dimes. Remember, pennies are 1, dimes are 10. I have only pennies and dimes in my pocket, and they add up to $0.35. So I have only pennies and dimes in my pocket, and they add up to 35 cents. So I want you to use pictures right now. So in your spiral, you're going to draw a picture of what my combination could be of pennies and dimes to make 35 cents. So I'm going to pause right now, and you are going to come up with a combination of pennies and dimes to add up to 35. All right, so that was interesting. We came up with several different ways to make 35 using pennies and dimes. The next one we're going to try is, this time I don't have 35 cents. I have 52 cents and only pennies and dimes. I'm going to pause again, and you are going to come up with ways we can make 52 cents using tens, dimes, and pennies, ones. So these are tens, these are ones. So make 52 using pennies and dimes. All right, so now I'm going to ask a few questions now that we came up with those two different scenarios. How many pennies equal the value of a dime? Go ahead and just say it. All right, so how many dimes equal the value of a dollar? So how many of these dimes go into a dollar? How many tens are in a dollar is really the question. Go ahead and just say it. Alrighty, nice job. And lastly, how many pennies are in a dollar? Go ahead and unmute yourself and say it when you know. Remember, pennies are ones. All right, yeah, good job. So there's 100 pennies in $1. Excellent. So I know that we can write $1 in two ways. If I write it like this, that means 100 cents. But we just said there are actually 100 pennies in $1, right? Yeah, so that would be 100 cents. But the way we write $1 is like this. I'm going to put my dollar sign, and I usually just put one line through because it's a little bit neater. We write a 1, a decimal point, and 2 zeros. So that's way we are separating the dollars from the number of cents. So how are these two alike? How are these two different? What does the 1 mean when we're looking just right here? What does the 1 mean? That's right, $1. And what do the zeros mean over here? 0 cents, yeah. So if I had $1.15, we would know that we would have 1 whole dollar, and then we would have to have some change to show the 15 cents. All right, I'm going to turn the page. Right now, we are going to draw a model of some money. And so we're going to draw 124 cents. We can also make $1.24. So right now, in your spiral, I want you to draw 124 cents using dollar, dimes, and pennies. So notice, I don't have nickels, I don't have quarters in there. We're just using dollars, dimes, and pennies. I'm going to pause the video right now, and you are going to draw that and hold it up to the screen and show it to me. All right, and what I'm hoping that we all noticed is there are so many different ways to make $1.24. We could have drawn 124 pennies, couldn't we? I'm not going to draw that right now because it would take forever. I could draw 10 dimes. And then for my 24, I can draw 2 more dimes, then 4 ones. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 120, 121, 22, 23, 124. So that equals that. So there's a lot of different ways that we could show that, and we saw several when we were showing our work. Okay, so we're done in our spiral for now. And now we are going to look at page 97. And I honestly think that we're going to wait on page 98 until tomorrow. So page 97 says write the answer using cents, then write the answer using dollars. So Joe has 11 dimes and 4 pennies. How much money does Joe have? So I am going to draw 11 dimes and 4 pennies to see how much money he has. Now you can draw this either way. You can draw this as coins. So these are all tens. These are 11 dimes. And then 4 pennies. So I can count that up really easy. You ready to count with me? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114. So I know that this is 114 cents. The other way I can choose to draw it is I can say 11 tens and 4 ones. So I can translate that in my brain if that's easy for me to do. And the way that would look is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can draw it either way because it all adds up to the same amount. So that's up to you how you would like to draw that. It doesn't matter to me today. Sometimes I will ask you to do certain things and like with certain symbols, and other times I'll just be like, whatever makes you feel happy. It doesn't matter to me. I just tried to get my proud member of the LJ squad pencil out, and I realized I need to sharpen it. So instead I will use my mechanical pencil. All right, so we know that he has 114 cents, right, like that. That C with the line through it means cents. The S with the lines through it means dollars. So now we're going to go ahead and write the dollars. When we do the dollars, we're moving our decimal point over 2. So the decimal point is sitting right here in this one, but we're going to bounce it over 1, 2, so we can show those cents. So we're going to write a dollar sign, then $1.14. Do you think that I want to see the drawing that you made? Yes, indeed I do. If you do not show me the drawing, I will be sending your work back to you and asking you to make a drawing. So just start with the drawing first. And if you do the work like me on a different page, take a picture of both and send me 2 pictures. That's okay too. I'll read this one to you now. Becca has $1, 3 dimes, and 8 pennies. How much money does Becca have? So what will we draw to show Becca's dollar, 3 dimes, and 8 pennies? Thank you. Yeah, we are going to draw $1, 3 dimes, 1, 2, 3. We're just going to do exactly what it tells us to do. And 8 pennies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Put my ones in there since I'm drawing coins. Now what? So I have a picture. Now what will we do? Thank you. That's right. We are going to count these up. So please count with me. 100, 110, 120, 130, 131, 132, 133, 134, 135, 136, 137, and 138. So our total is 138 cents. And now we're going to write it as $1.38. So the first thing I'm going to write is my dollar signal, my $1, my decimal point, and 38. Remember, we moved our decimal point to 1, 2, and this is where it's going to stay, right there, because we're separating the dollars from the cents. All right, so I did, we did. Now these ones, I'm going to read them to you, and you can do them on your own. Tim has 14 dimes and 15 pennies. How much money does Tim have? Remember to draw the picture and write the total. I'll read it one more time. Tim has 14 dimes and 15 pennies. How much money does Tim have? All right, number 4. Dinah has 2 dimes, 6 pennies, and $1. How much money does Dinah have? So draw the picture, count it up, and write your totals. Lou has $1, 8 dimes, and 19 pennies. How much money does Lou have? All right, friends, make sure that you take a picture of this page and any of the other work that you did and send that to me on Seesaw. Thank you, friends, and I'll see you next time.